because we're on television, I need to get a cue that says that we're on television before we begin, so apologies for this delay. All right. Please remain standing for the national anthem, which will be sung by Ms. Corinne Villafana.
Forged from the love of liberty in the fight of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, peace on native land, we pledge our lives to thee. Every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Please be seated. Senator the Honorable Christine Kangaloo, President of the Senate, the Honorable Bridget Anisette George, Speaker of the House, Cabinet Ministers, High Commissioners, and Honorary Consul, members of the Senate, members of the House of Representatives, teachers, students, members of the media, staff of the Office of the Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. My name is Jason Elcock, and I will be your Master of Ceremonies for today's Commonwealth Day Program 2019. Commonwealth Day is actually observed on the second Monday in the month of March. That would have been last week, Monday. So we are now about to observe those proceedings. My purpose is to introduce the various speakers and the various elements that will take place this morning, especially those of you students here who will be displaying your various talents as you bring life to this year's theme for Commonwealth Day, A Connected Commonwealth. It is not, however, my duty to welcome you here. That duty falls to another person, and so without further ado, I invite to the podium the Speaker of the House, the Honorable Bridget Anisette George. Put your hands together for her.
Thank you, Mr. Elcock. Senator, the Honorable Christine Kangaloo, President of the Senate of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Members of the Executive Committee of the Trinidad and Tobago branch of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association. Honorable members of the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago, High Commissioners, honorary consuls of Commonwealth countries resident in Trinidad and Tobago or their representatives, our distinguished students, specially invited guests, teachers, members of the media, other distinguished ladies and gentlemen. A pleasant good morning to you all. And you could see from the orange tone of both Madam President and myself, and that wasn't planned, that today must be a brilliant day. On behalf of Madam President, our members of both the House of Representatives and the Senate, the staff and the Parliament, and on my own behalf, I express a warm welcome to all our guests on your visit to our professional residence. I assure you that just as in the case of a host who's expecting visitors to his home, we have awaited this day with great anticipation and almost unchecked excitement. As you know, the Parliament is considered the people's house, as it is here the business which is transacted affects the livelihood, well-being, and welfare of all our citizens and residents. So in welcoming you, if I say Mikasa is Sukasa, while you may object on the basis that the standing orders of Parliament dictate the language of our Parliament is English, you must forgive me, as that foreign slang perfectly signifies the degree of comfort you should feel when you attend here. And to assuage all doubts, no reference is intended in any way to the present situation with one of our neighboring countries. A British politician by the name of Benjamin Disraeli stated, and I quote, that the youth of a nation are the trustees of prosperity, end quote. That statement acknowledges that youth have a present responsibility to impact their communities positively, and not a deferred one to sometime in the future, that is to say, using our local parlance, when they become big people. As you are well aware, March 11th, exactly a week ago, the 53 member nations, including Trinidad and Tobago, commemorated Commonwealth Day. Traditionally, our Parliament hosts its own commemorative event in keeping with the relevant theme on the scheduled date, which is annually fixed as the second Monday in the month of March. The Commonwealth Charter establishes 16 key areas of focus for its members nations, which are 1, democracy, 2, human rights, 3, international peace and security, 4, tolerance, respect, and understanding, 5, freedom of expression, 6, separation of powers, 7, the rule of law, 8, good governance, 9, sustainable development, 10, protecting the environment, 11, access to health, education, food, and shelter, 12, gender equality, 13, the importance of young people in the Commonwealth, 14, the recognition of the needs of small states, 15, the recognition of the needs of vulnerable states, and 16, the role of civil society. Its founding principles of democracy, human rights, and the rule of law are considered by us as relevant today as they were 70 years ago when the Commonwealth came into existence. And additionally, its 16 principles contained in the Charter are so integrally intertwined in the business in which we are involved that this year, when confronted with the reality that for supervening reasons we could not host our event on Commonwealth Day, we determined that the only option was to host the event a week later. Not to host our event was not an option at all, and you'll understand why I have the double negative. This year's theme, A Connected Commonwealth, to quote the Royal Commonwealth Society, and I quote, speaks of the enduring practical value and global engagement made possible as a result of the determination of the culturally diverse and widely dispersed family of nations to cooperate and work together in friendship and goodwill. Our governments, institutions, and people connect at many levels, including through parliaments and universities, end quote. This Parliament's event, therefore, sought to connect some of our students with their peers in one of the Commonwealth nations of Australia, Bahamas, Belize, Canada, India, Nigeria, South Africa, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom in a collaborative effort to demonstrate how we are connected with those other countries in one of the specified areas of history, culture, sports, women and gender, or a current national issue. The project, in the fullest sense, contemplated that our students and those in the foreign jurisdictions may have been able to connect real-time through the great connector of the internet. We know in some instances that didn't work out, but I assure you students that that little setback in no way diluted our interest in the presentations which you shall shortly make. As I mentioned the word presentations, I am reminded that today the stage belongs to you, our students, and I'm beginning to feel that I have overstayed my own welcome. But I pray your indulgence to state 3 general takeaways I wish to leave with you from these opening remarks. 1, do not underestimate your power to make a positive difference. We have many examples both here and in the region, but the current example of a teenager close to the ages of you students may be the most apt one. She is Greta Thunberg, the 16-year-old Swedish schoolgirl who has inspired an international movement to fight climate change through peaceful school protests, and which between August and now have spread to more than 100 countries. I know that there may be an attraction to attach to the cause because it involves skipping school on Fridays, but harbor no doubts about the sincerity of Greta's campaign. She may have skipped class attendances, but she has diligently done her schoolwork during those hours. Secondly, it is your duty to safeguard your powerful mind and use it and your connections and contacts for the improvement of humanity. I refer to last Friday's terrorist attack in New Zealand by what may have been a lone wolf, and I deliberately choose to say no more about it as not to give it any validity. But be ever mindful that it is in the discharge of your responsibility to safeguard yourself, mind, and spirit shall rest your only defense from being lured into an unjust, inhumane, and tyrannical cause. And because we've connected, New Zealand is one of the territories that we have selected, I would just ask us all to stand for a moment's silence in solidarity with New Zealand. And I thank you. You can silently resume your seats. Thirdly, it is your basic human responsibility in all your connections and contacts. 1, to stamp out ignorance with knowledge and light, to dispel despair with upliftment and hope, to erase doubt with the confidence and firm belief that the human spirit has throughout history and shall always overcome adversity, and to eradicate hate in all its forms with tolerance and loving understanding. I wish you all a pleasant stay with us this morning, and I hope, like the fully satiated visitor in Mighty Cypher's rendition, A Portrait of Trinidad, and I was really going to sing this for you all, except that the Sahara dust this morning is not agreeing with my throat. But the relevant part is this: when your time comes to depart, you will say with pride in heart, I'll be back, you could bet your life. And if I can't come, I'll go send, well, you will have to fill that in with your friend, your sister, your mother, because you're all too young to have a wife. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for those very encouraging words. I would have joined you in the song, you know. We proceed in the program now with something that has become an annual tradition, which is the presentation of the Commonwealth Day message by Her Excellency the Queen, which I will read for you before we proceed further with the proceedings. Commonwealth Day has a special significance this year as we mark the 70th anniversary of the London Declaration, when nations of the Commonwealth agreed to move forward together as free and equal members. The vision and sense of connection that inspired the signatories has stood the test of time, and the Commonwealth continues to grow, adapting to address contemporary needs. Today, many millions of people around the world are drawn together because of the collective values shared by the Commonwealth. In April last year, I welcomed the leaders of our 53 nations to Buckingham Palace and Windsor Castle for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. And we all witnessed how the Commonwealth vision offers hope and inspires us to find ways of protecting our planet and our people. We are able to look to the future with greater confidence and optimism as a result of the links that we share, and thanks to the networks of cooperation and mutual support to which we contribute and on which we draw. With enduring commitment through times of great change, successive generations have demonstrated that whilst the goodwill for which the Commonwealth is renowned may be intangible, its impact is very real. We experience this as people of all backgrounds continue to find new ways of expressing, through action, the value of belonging in a connected Commonwealth. I hope and trust that many more will commit to doing so this Commonwealth Day. So that is the Commonwealth Day message from the head of the Commonwealth, Queen Elizabeth II. So students, Madam Speaker just said that today the stage belongs to you. And now we've come to the part of the program where, in fact, we get to see your presentations that you have worked so hard on, demonstrating this year's theme of a connected Commonwealth. Also, as Madam Speaker said, several of the schools would have been paired with other schools in other parts of the Commonwealth, and they would have worked together on various themes. And so we will see all of those demonstrated today. So I'll tell you the next part once, because it's going to happen before each of the presentations. A short clip depicting the schools connecting with the overseas schools will be shown, and this will be followed by your presentation. So after the clip, you can simply come forward and begin your presentation. Everybody clear with that? Yeah. All right. So we begin with St. Charles High School. The country that they would have selected is South Africa. The area of research is gender and women, and their mode of presentation is spoken word. So we begin with St. Charles High School. Look to your screens, and then...
Good morning, fellow students. My name is Amaris Speed, a Form 4 student of St. Charles High School. We have selected the topic Gender Equality and Women, and we have the following questions. Question 1. Are women restricted from equal privileges as males in work-oriented places? Question 2. Are women paid equally as men in the workplace? Question 3. Do women receive the same respect as men in society?
Sawubona, good morning. All protocol observed. A pleasant good morning. Our presentation today is on gender equality and women in South Africa. It is common knowledge that gender equality is a human right. Unfortunately, in many developing countries around the world, women are discriminated because of their gender. This could be one of the reasons approximately 60% of the illiterate adults in the world are women. According to World Economic Forum, South Africa is ranked the 17th out of 136 countries in terms of gender equality. However, this does not mean that South African women are completely free from discrimination in their homes and workplace. Research has shown that discrimination against women is as a result of patriarchal traditions and beliefs and customary laws that restrict women from owning things like land. All these things can be put into one perspective. That is, South African men believe that the women should continue with their traditional role, which is to manage and take care of their family and homes. However, there is still a lot of hope for South African women. And this can be seen in the South African government's initiative to celebrate women during the month of August. And now I present Alexia Daniel performing She Man Race.
Thank you. Woman, the driving force that propels this generation, crushed under society's infiltration just for being a woman. Who are we as young girls who look up to these women to guide our way, but crushed under the belief that men should have the last say of today? Regardless of our race or culture, it's up to us to direct our future as women. Light bearers of the next generation, hold her not against her own will or chain her mind into thinking that she is less worthy. She who carries the precious stones holds so dearly to her heart the one she has to bear. Birthed from her womb, the man locked away in his own ego. He holds the mirror to her face, staring back at her, the woman she once knew. He breaks the mirror, and now she is gone. Hold her not against her own degradation. Hate her not because of your own frustration. Instead, love her. Love her as though she is your last hope. Guard her with the inch of protection this world has to spare, and let her not slip away into the clutches of despair. She opened up her vessel, the last place she seeked a surety, and unfolded her gift to the world. Repay her what she deserves. The last nickel from your pockets, the last sweat from your chest, anything to repay her for the pain she had to bear. If I utter the last words, it will be thank you. Thank you for the hips that cracked from the deep velvet of my mother and her mother and her mother. Because of this, a little girl in South Africa is still holding on to the pain. The pain to be forgiven for the wrong she had not committed. The pain of growing up in a world where the reality of just being a woman is not permitted. The pain of just being alive. Don't ever mistake her meekness for her weakness. The fact of her being a woman is not a disability, it is a blessing from God. The same blessing that granted life is the very reason we are alive. Because of this hardship, the hurts, the pain is all for one thing and one thing only. This human race. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, students of St. Charles High School. You've set a very high standard this morning, and I can't wait to see the remainder of the presentations. So what did everybody think about that? It was nice? You enjoyed it? Give them a round of applause again. This is really good. All right. Okay. As our next set of students gets mic'd and ready to come aboard on stage, we have some 11 schools represented here this morning. And next up will be Shiva Boys Hindu College. They would have been paired with Stopsley High School. I hope I pronounced it correctly, Excellency, the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Their area of research is culture, and their mode of presentation will be drama. So they are ready, and so we go now to the screens to see the video presentation.
Hello there, my name is Kevin Cook.
And I am Adrian Barry.
And we are from Shiva Boys Hindu College.
Are you familiar with our Trinbagonian culture?
Do you have awareness of the British and European influence on our local culture?
Did you know our Carnival Festival emerged from our history of being under the British rule?
Do you know that some of our folklore and superstitions are very similar to those of other cultures?
Juve originated in Trinidad with the festivities of Camboulay, which was a time when sugarcane fields caught on fire and the slaves were still forced to harvest the remaining crops before complete destruction. That event was reenacted and male slaves were mocked by their masters. However, after emancipation from Britain,
Who are you? What are you like me? I am a vampire. How dare you steal my precious blood?
I am an old woman by day. At night, I shed my skin and transform into a ball of fire to move from house to house. I sneak through the cracks and keyholes to suck blood from the human soul.
I am a pure-blooded count. I drink blood and murder the British sons till I find what meets my pleasure. I fly away with nothing in my way in the vicious night I desire. I slumber in my grave with nothing to fear but garlic, sticks, and fire. What are you like me? Imposter!
it is believed that the character of the vampire became famous following the publication of Irishman Abraham Bram Stoker's novel Dracula in 1897. The story follows Count Dracula, a vampire who attempts to move from Transylvania to England to attain his morbid goals. This novel shot the Dracula figure to immense popularity in the UK as well as throughout the world. This belief in a blood-sucking creature of the night has influenced our own local folklore traditions, where the intermingling of British influence and African folk tales gave birth to what we know in Trinbago as the Sukuya.
Thank you.
That was Shiva Boys Hindu College. I read the script, and seeing it performed is a little bit different. What draws us together is the fact that elements of folklore are common throughout various parts of the Commonwealth. Well done. Give them a round of applause again, please. So as our next performers are being mic'd, I'll introduce them. They are Holy Faith Convent. They are, the country of choice was the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. They were paired with St. John's College, and their area of research, like St. Charles, was gender and women, and also like St. Charles, they will be performing as a mode of presentation in spoken word. So I believe that they're ready. So they'll play the video and they will commence. So put your hands together for St. Charles. For Holy Faith.
My name is Moruga. I'm a student at Holy Faith Convent, Moruga, which is Hi, my name is Huggins. I am a student at Holy Faith Convent, Cuba, which is located in central Trinidad and Tobago. Holy Faith Convent, Cuba is an all-girls school, and with this being said, I thought that the topic of gender would be appropriate as I have a lot of experience with it.
Woman, they prey upon her body, her face, her skin. Her feature and figure are what draws them in. She is seen as a piece to be desired, a delectable spark that ignites their fire. Female, vibrant, beautiful, vivacious, bold, yet still subjected to their stereotypical roles. She deserves so much more. She's stronger than ever before.
Festivities. My name is Amelia Mohammed, and this is my partner, Makaya Huggins. We are representing Holy Faith Convent, Cuba, and today we're presenting the topic of gender and women. In Trinidad and Tobago, as well as the Bahamas, women still face social stigmas due to the patriarchal beliefs still deeply ingrained into our society. As members of an all-girls school, this topic is important to us, and so we believe that we can have an accurate portrayal for you today. We have chosen the presentation, this as a spoken word, as we are both members of our spoken words club. We believe that our point will be able to touch you in a different way as art, and more specifically, poetry, holds a great importance in human nature.
Ready? According to Google Dictionary, inequality, difference in size, circumstances, and degree. Difference, inequality.
Mathematically known as the relation between two expressions that are not equal.
A society constantly tiptoeing along the lines of inequality. Inequality that separates brain from body, backtracking me for centuries. We see it in the Bahamas, South Africa, Australia, and Canada. We see it worldwide. It is hard to be judged by the fruits of my womb rather than the fruits of my labor.
Lesser than.
This is the curse of femininity, passed down from those before me, written into my DNA. Oh, how they must have cried. This world is carved from my backbone, though I am formed from the rib of a man. My tears, I weep them. They quench your thirst, and the rest fall to Mother Earth, and she's told, it's a man's world. No place for a fragile girl, fragile woman, fragile like the glass ceiling that presses against my cheek, suffocates me. Weak, weak, weak woman, weak daughter. My assault reduced a number on your line, and no help hotline can reduce the hostile demand for me to be bent like parenthesis. It fills me with dread, a ringing in my head that makes me scream out, scream at them, scream at you, scream at myself, till I ask myself, who am I screaming at? Who deserves it? Because I stand on the wrong side of the equal sign. No signs of how to fix the broken definition of equality that lives in my society. Because where's the place for a woman like me? A ghost behind the man who decides how my life should be? A hidden figure laying dormant,
Mediocrity is my destiny, so my screaming shall continue until I'm brought to the same value as you.
We are not equal to you. We learn from this generation of what a man should be,
walking along the lines of division,
not from our fathers who are non-existent in our life situations, causing us to be a man of what society chose of us, no forefathers to guide our directions, turning us into negative numbers, unable for us to feel whole, jumping back and forth behind the equality sign to be viewed as important in society, to be as strong as the woman that walks beside me, telling me that a son is easier to have because women fall weak in this system, that my sisters are being catcalled in the street by men becoming victims.
Because no matter where the brackets are placed, the answer always remains the same.
Trying to be everything a man should be. My sisters and I should be valued and favored equally. We should try and solve this equation.
We should share a commonwealth. Our wages, zero difference. Our rights, zero difference. Breaking gender stereotypes should be our aim of change, making a difference.
Realizing that women are not alone in this too. Men fall victims too. Men are being abused. Men are not being able to see their children due to biased custody against them. In society, men are being afraid to speak up because they're being told to man up. We see it in the Bahamas, South Africa, Australia, Canada. We see it worldwide.
Let's put a stop and make gender equality something that our children can be able to look up to.
Not be afraid of the bodies and genders they are born to.
No man is greater than. Using the formulas and working our way through.
Doesn't this make you sad that our generation is stiflingly walking into a blinded exam room without the formulas to break the grounded rules that divided us in two?
A fraction of what we're supposed to be.
What we're supposed to do.
No hand in hands, only warped angles and tinted points of views. Judged by the invisible pencil writing it out, saying not equal to.
We must open our eyes and see the working right in front of us.
The signs in front of us. See that we are on us. No matter if it's Bahamas, South Africa, Australia, or Canada, it should be in our common interest to share in the wealth that is unity. Look at the opportunities placed right at our door.
Then we'll know who we are truly studying for.
Homework assigned until change is made
in the society.
For every gender to be equally respected. According to Google Dictionary, equality, the state of being equal, especially status, rights, and opportunities, mathematically known as a symbolic expression of the fact that two quantities are equal. Thank you.
Thank you very much, students of Holy Faith Convent, Commonwealth of the Bahamas, paired with St. John's College of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and their spoken word on the theme of gender and women. Our next school is Moruga Secondary School. The country that they selected is Belize, specifically the Edward P. York High School. Their area of research is culture, and they will be doing a PowerPoint presentation and dance. So as soon as they are cued and ready,
the culture of Trinidad and Tobago reflects the independence of Indian, European, Spanish, Jewish, Arab, and African culture. The histories of Trinidad and Tobago are different. There are differences in the cultural influences which have shaped each island. Here are some few questions I would like to ask about Belize. What influenced the culture of Belize?
Belize is a country with diverse cultures, and due to our diversity, it is hard for us to just pick one main dish. We have cultures such as the Creole, Garifuna, and many others. The main dish of the Creole, which can be seen as our national dish, is a dish of rice and beans made with grated coconut milk, stewed chicken, fried plantain, and potato salad. The Garifuna also have a dish made with rich and creamy coconut milk known as the pudul. Yes, I stress on coconut milk because it is something that I personally love.
Representative, to Your Majesty Queen Elizabeth, President of the Senate, members of the Parliament, Speaker of the House, distinguished guests, teachers, fellow mates, a pleasant good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. Cabin crew, please take your seats for the takeoff. All passengers are reminded to stay seated with your seatbelt fastened until we come to a complete stop. You will know when the engines are turned off, and here's a ding. My name is Candace Douglas. I am proudly and delighted to be representing my school, Moruga Secondary. I am currently a student of Moruga Secondary School, and I'm thrilled and honored to be here today and acknowledge Belize for its unique culture. Welcome to Belize. It is located in the Central America, south of Honduras, east of Guatemala, and north of Honduras. Belize first gained independence on 21st September 1981. It is a tiny English-speaking country in the western edge of America, south of Mexico, east of Guatemala, and north of the Honduras. Its ethnicities is known as a melting point of culture and is known in various ethnicities cohabiting in harmony. To Belize boasts of culture aspects from different cultures. Belize diversity. It is most partially populated nation in Central America. About 43.7% of the population Mayan and European descent, 29.8% African and Afro-European ancestry, about 11.0% are Mayan, and about 6.6% are Amerindian. Belize traditional clothing are known as Mayan natives. Make a square piece of cloth into a blouse, which is called a huipil. Men wear a less decorated huipil with a blue or red sash, but women often embroider them elaborately. In Belize, there are different types of foods. Foods such as tortillas, johnny cakes, fried baked, as well as there are different types of variety of cheese that can be seen using in local dishes. Maize is mainly one of the producers that may be used in local dishes. The type of music that is known in Belize is called brookdown. At this time, a piece of brookdown will be played. It was created by Wilfred Peters and is known as one of the Belize cultural icons. The popular traditional dance style is Carifuna. In Belize, it is called Punta music. According to one Carifuna author, this style is the most popular dance performed at wakes, holidays, parties, and other social events. At this point, a dance will be performed. Ding! At this point, we have completed our journey. Hope you all enjoyed. Thank you for flying with Air Belize. And genuinely hope you will give us another opportunity to serve you again. May you all have a blessed and productive day. Thank you.
I think they deserve another round of applause. Went onto the runway, taxied, took off, we maintained altitude, descent, and finally let you go. Well done. Our next performance will be by the Asja Girls School of Barrackpore. They were paired with the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, students again of St. John's College, as was Holy Faith. They are doing a drama, and their area of research is a current national issue. So once the presentation is ready, you'll look to your screens and then welcome the students to the stage.
Hi, good day. My name is Akila Brown.
And my name is Ariel Brown.
And we are from the Asja Girls College, Barrackpore in Trinidad.
We are here to ask you a few questions on the current national issues in your country.
What is the highest concern of the citizens in the Bahamas? The citizens form the country. As a citizen, what is your perspective on this issue?
It's 2019, and for some reason, the economic, social, and political sectors of this great and humble land seem to be regressing. It's 2019, and the lack of much activity, growth, and development has just become a norm to today's society. It's 2019, and we as a nation still put bandages over the problem without really fixing the cause. It's 2019, and our independence from the monarchy translates to us being dependent on everyone else. I mean, it's 2019, and forward, upward, onwards, together, no longer defines us as a people. Stagnation.
Akila Paris has flown to the tropical, hot and sunny island, the Bahamas, which is rated to be one of the best getaway paradise in the Caribbean, especially for the sun, bliss, and sandy beaches, which is truly an eye-catcher to the tourists. Miss Paris is relaxing in her hotel awaiting for assistance, and while she lounges at the pool, a song comes to mind.
I'm walking on sunshine, whoa, I'm walking on sunshine, whoa, and don't it feel good?
Go ahead, go ahead.
Madam, here's your Bahamian tropical paradise.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Excuse, ma'am. Do you know where in the Bahamas I could go and get a little tourist? I want to see the museum, and so I want to go to the beach.
Wait, English?
The museum.
Doctor who's in?
The museum.
Doctor who's in here on the
Oh
corner,
man,
then
I just
tourist.
want to know the museum. I want to see the museum.
Oh, is that tourist?
Yeah, I'm a tourist. I'm from England. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a tourist. So do you know what's the name of the place called? Fremont. I think it's the Fremont Beach, you know. I just want to go there time. I saw it online. Yeah, I'm in the Bahamas. I know that, yes.
You mean Freeport Beach?
Didn't I just say that? I said Freeport Beach. Yeah, do you know how to
right?
get there from here, from Sandals, you know? I'm gonna go to the Freeport Beach.
Okay, let me tell you. Right, so, you see, it have a junction right here, outside of this hotel, and take a right-left turn by the coconut tree that is bare mango.
Oh, you have mango here?
Yes,
In
but
England, we don't have that. We don't bear that. We only have apples there. We only bear... Yeah. Tell me, go ahead.
Right. So don't get that mixed up with the purple tree that is bare coconut, because that kind of, that real off. Sorry, miss. Right. So yeah, stand under that tree and spin around 3 times. Let me see you do your spin. Go.
3 times, yeah? Oh, okay. I'll do that.
You can't come, but that's okay. Right. So it have a car that will pull up. He wearing a hat, a man. A grey hat.
Okay,
and a purple shades.
Okay, I
Real
remember
hot
that.
outside, so he'll wear shades.
Okay.
Right. You hop in that car, tell me you want to go to Freeport Beach.
Freeport Beach.
Yes.
Okay, I remember that, yeah?
Right. You go there, and he'll take you there.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So let me leave it to relax.
Ariel Hutchinson is a lonely soul who sufficed to a relaxing and promising vacation in the lovely and thrilling island, the Bahamas. She strolls into the pool area where she spots a friend from the past sitting in the distance. A conversation is spiked up and a few of the current national issues were brought up.
It's been a while since I've seen you. When did you come to the Great Britain? You're not coming back there?
Oh, no. It's just so cold, and I've been in Trinidad for a while now. It's amazing, the sun and everything.
Oh my goodness. So how come you're in the Bahamas now?
Oh, well, I'm a news reporter.
Oh,
so
okay.
I've just been, I've been going around, hopping.
I understand.
Yes.
So I've heard so much good things about the Bahamas. I haven't heard anything about any issues or anything. I'm so glad that it's a beautiful country, and I'm going to the Freeport Beach later, and it's so beautiful here. I'm so happy to be here right now.
Yes. Oh my gosh. The national issues are really rising, though.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they're very severe.
Oh. I'm not sure about them. Do you know anything about them? I've seen your reporter and all those things. I just want to,
Yes. Oh.
I solemnly pledge to dedicate my life to the service of my God and my country.
Which country? This one? Another one. After many previous cries and many previous lives and tries to keep everything alive, another one's found. Lifeless, unresponsive, something that no one has ever wanted. There's no need for Casper anymore. Just walking on the streets alone makes you feel haunted. Too blindsided, so you believe doing wrong is something that needs to be vaunted and flaunted. But aren't you exhausted? Another life. Cries heard from a mother, a sister, a wife. Another life taken, maybe by a knife. Humanity shouldn't be a description for us humans, but rather wildlife. There's no future for many youths, for they have seen longer years in their afterlife. Youth is about the only thing a youth has, and that is about the only thing that is worth having. And change is the end result of all true learning. Education is the only thing a youth should be earning, not a gun or hatred that's undiscerning. Just to find out a place in a jail cell is all they'd be earning. It's only trouble they're stirring. Wait, duck, cover. Did you hear that? Another shot fired, causing violence to splatter against the sidewalk you admire, giving the government that feeling to retire. What else can I aspire than for any girl to walk the streets without worrying about their attire? Another day has crept by stealthily, as though it has lectured me, pressured me. Another day where you act as though crime can be undermined lethally. So many thoughts fretfully, but when we're faced with something dreadfully ugly, a once committed chant has turned non-committally. As we sit and relax prettily, we are who we choose to be. You can't get something by wishing for it or hoping for it, but by working for it. Faith without work is dead. There are 3 words that sums up life: It goes on. And it is your decision to make this country, this small little island, a better place. And chances are stronger than a bookcase. And trust me, you won't be criticized or labeled as bold-faced. And this is not a cat and mouse situation where you're able to chase, but a moment where you're bold and stand face to face. Hold your head up and stand up as though it's supported by a neck brace. As you stand in the mirror, don't act as though your paper's hidden in a briefcase or a shoe held back from being free by a shoelace. Because the person that looks back at you is the only person you can tell to make a change. No crooked police, no violence, just peace.
Wow, I didn't even know all of that took place here. But you know, being here and compare my country to here and all of these things, I'm thinking, don't we have to put aside those things and rise up and, you know, focus on the better things and try to positive the negative things, you know? I just wonder, you know, sitting and relaxing, I'm just like, when is this going to stop? We have to make it awareness, you know? We have to have an awareness of everything going around us and everything like that, you know? So, you know.
Yes, I understand. I believe that is true.
Yeah, so we have to, you know, focus on the positive stuff and try to, you know, move on from the negativity.
Yes, all the countries are really good countries. They're indeed wonderful.
Okay, yes.
Yes.
She probably talk herself.
Where's the waiter? I'm a bit thirsty. I'm parched.
This woman has no behavior. My goodness. Let's go and see what's wrong with her. There's something wrong with her. Ma'am, I've been waiting over there. I wanted a cup of tea. This is pot of tea I wanted, and you're over here bobbing. What are you bobbing to? Wait, what is this? Oh my goodness. Oh my.
Yes.
Yes, I know this. I know this.
Yes, this is an Bahamian song.
Yeah, okay, let's see if we could get this.
Oh, 2019, we from the West Indies, a connected Commonwealth, we come out to blow your way like breeze. Stand us real high like coconut trees when you get served eating rice and peas. Oh, oh, the sun real hot, so take a trip to the beach. I lay on the sand with a drink in my hand, no stress, just blessed. Very definition of a paradise, sounding real nice. The Bahamas is a place to go, just call Caribbean Airlines. And when you're done, take a flight to Sweet Trinbago. Oh, 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 nosh, nosh.
Together we aspire, together we achieve. Forward, upward, onward, together. Always remember, together we can do more than we can by ourselves. We can rise up and make a change. Thank you.
Once again, put your hands together for Asja Girls School, Bar 4. Our next school will be the Bishop's Centenary School. The country that they selected was India. They were assisted by the High Commissioner of India to Trinidad and Tobago when no partner school was found. They are doing spoken word, dance, and dress, and their area of research is culture. So look to your screens for their introduction.
Hi, my name is Constantine. And hi, my name is Shiva. And we're from Bishop Centenary College, and we're representing Trinidad and Tobago in the Commonwealth presentation. So the topic we chose to perform was culture, and we prepared 8 questions for you today, and Shirley will be asking the first 4, and I'll be asking from 5 to 8.
Question 1. What does the Indian culture consist of, or what are some aspects of the Indian culture?
India is a diverse, multicultural and multi-ethnic country. The vast expanse of the country provides a variety of geographical features, climatic conditions, and is home to around 1.3 billion people. Indian culture is that string that binds billions of us together as it celebrates our age-old rich heritage and diversity.
Sitaram. You know, India is a multicultural subcontinent with diverse geographical and architectural amazements. 1.3 billion is her population, so you know, Mother India is a vast nation.
Yeah, but you know, her culture wasn't always looked upon favorably. Just because she chose not to follow the Western way of living, she was called primitive and inferior culturally.
But in 1953, excitement sparked in the empire when the Taj Mahal brought glory to the Indian architecture. Read, it is documented in history books. Visitors travel from far and wide just to take in the looks.
You know, 4 of the world's major religions were born in India: Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism. She also boasts of having magnificent temples, and the Sikh Golden Temple and Jain Palitana Temple are just some extravagant examples.
Languages? Well, here now, India has 28 states and 7 territories. Although Hindi is the official language, 59% of the residents speak other languages like Bengali, Telugu, Marathi, Tamil, Urdu, and in most cases, the language that they speak connects to the area that they live in. So if you live in Punjab, you speak Punjabi.
Rich are her foods, which include many herbs and spices, wheat, pulses with chana, not forgetting the basmati rices and other rice dishes like biryani. Her foods are filled with flavor. Some favorites are the butter paneer and dosa. Ginger, coriander, cardamom, turmeric, dried hot peppers, cinnamon, and their curry have all helped to create their cultural story. Her people, they are royalty. See the women adorned in the silk sari. The men are proud and walk tall as they wear the dhoti and kurta, and even the shawani if the occasion is greater. But you can't forget her customs and celebrations, because in truth and in fact, this is what unites her people as a nation. Light triumphs over darkness as they celebrate Diwali. Lots of joy is spread during the festival of colors they call Holi. So today, as we pay tribute to Mother India on this 70th anniversary of the Commonwealth, may God bless us all as we join together with one heart and one voice to protect and embrace our Commonwealth.
He came from Calcutta, a stick and a bag on his shoulder, Itobana Capra. So I am Patsy of India. India, the Indian ship on this level. Mother India just mother Trinity. John and mommy. My Mahuta planted sugar cane down in the Caroni plain. Ram Logan Basdale Prakashana. Jahaji Pai. Brotherhood and the boat. Jahaji Pai. Brotherhood and the boat. Jahaji Pai.
Another round of applause, please, for Bishop Centenary, the Republic of India. Beautiful choice of music. Our next presentation will be made by Asja Boys Secondary School. Their country of choice was the Commonwealth of Australia. They were paired with the Sacred Heart Central School. Their area of focus is culture, and they are going to do spoken words. As soon as they're mic'd and ready, you look to your screens for their presentation.
Our questions are based on the culture of Australia. The culture of Trinity and Tobago was influenced by authentic history. Each group of colonizers and settlers brought with them their customs and traditions from their country of origin. The main components of our culture include our food, festivals, rituals, languages, music, and musical instruments. Our first question is, what is the main influence of your culture in Australia?
Our history is a big example for our main influences, as the conflict history when all the English people came to Australia affected our culture. And our friend, as we are very friendly, and our willingness to share our country with other cultures.
Special good morning to all assembled here this morning. My name is Aidan Phillips. Today, we will be presenting on the continent of Australia. This presentation would not have been successful without the assistance of Sacred Heart Kotamundra. Australia is a multi-ethnic continent and this played a major part in the influence of their culture. Following that, its history and sports also had a huge part to play. During the 1840s, the Italians, Greek, and Polish all settled together during World War I. A decade later, the Chinese arrived during the Gold Rush. The majority of the Vietnamese came to Victoria after the communist government took over their homeland in 1970. During the 1980s, Australia began to trade with Asia. This resulted in migrants settling permanently on Australia. The most prominent Australian culture is the Indigenous Australians, or the Aborigines.
I would like to draw your attention to Australia's major festivals. Australia Day is a national day of Australia. Celebrated on 26th of January yearly, it marks the arrival of the first British ships into Port Jackson. It's a celebration of all things Australian, namely their land, people, lifestyle, culture, and democracy.
Anzac Day is the most important day for Australians. It is celebrated on the 25th of April every year. It acknowledges the ones who served and lost their lives in the Great War. There's also the Wattle Time Fair celebration. It is celebrated to raise funds and awareness through the sales of fresh wattles.
Sport is also a major part of Australian culture. In the same way many Trinis support local teams and players in cricket and football, so as well do the Australians support theirs. Common sports in Australia include football, volleyball, cricket, and much, much more. It is also, Australia can also boast having hosted the Olympic Games as well as the Commonwealth Games.
Just to add to my colleague's statement, Aussies massively support their sportsmen. Some examples of successful Australian sportsmen are Sir Donald Bradman. He is a famous cricketer and known as the greatest batsman of all time. His career batting at 99.94 is often perceived as the greatest achievement by any sportsman. Ron Barassi, who was an Australian footballer and coach, he proved himself to be a true icon.
Food is another heart of Australian culture. Foods such as pavlova and lamingtons boast a place on Australia's diverse and complex menu. Well, and now, in conclusion of our PowerPoint, we have also prepared a short spoken word which will be presented with the help of my colleague Narian Joseph and will be accompanied by Terrell on the drums.
Australia, one of the 7 continents, diversified cultural background, unique history, people from far and near, Aborigines, English, Greek, Asians, Dutch, and much, much more. A melting pot, just like we country.
Paired with Sacred Heart, Kotamundra to be exact, charged with being part of something bigger from the start. For keeping their reputation, they equipped us with information.
Sport, Trinity lifeblood, and Aussies alike. Aussie born and bred, Sir Donald Bradman, world famous cricketer, just like we batsman, Brian Lara. Similar pastimes held in high regard, field games in the part, fighting fiercely, seeking victory from cricket to volleyball.
From savannas to sports grounds, come one, come all to see another round, praising Dwayne Bravo, Ian Thorpe, and all.
Possessing unique menus with tasty flavors of pavlova and meatballs, answered by the bulls and bulgur. From fish and chips to bacon shack on the sea border, what delights our tongues savor.
Both our countries ruled under the British belt, but nevertheless blessed with boundless wealth. We are one, united under the Commonwealth, as the envy of the world with sun, sea, and sand. Forward, we move always like the cool Caribbean breeze.
Asja Boys Secondary School paired with Sacred Heart of the Commonwealth of Australia. Another round of applause for them, please. Fantastic. We definitely have some very talented young people in this country. Next up is St. James Secondary. They were paired with New Zealand. Their area is culture, and they will be doing a PowerPoint presentation, and I see here an extempo. I wonder if it's a real extempo, or if they rehearsed it already and they know exactly what they're going to say. We'll see what they have prepared. So once they're ready, look to your screens, and we welcome the students of St. James Secondary.
Good day, my name is Juliet, and we are the students from St. James Secondary in Trinidad and Tobago. We would like to ask a few questions.
Question 1. What is a popular dish in your country? Question 2. Describe your traditional way. Question 3. Where was your native language derived from? Question 4. What is your most popular festival and why?
Good morning. On behalf of St. James Secondary and my country, Trinidad and Tobago, we offer sincere condolences to all the families who were killed last week.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to present to you New Zealand, but in extempo form. Well, I would like everyone listen to me. I came to represent St. James Secondary. Sorry, pause the beat. I'll do it without the beat, because then I extempo beat. Bam ba dum bam ba de ba da ba de dum ba de da de Santi Manite. I would like everyone, yes, to listen to me. I came to represent St. James Secondary, and yes, really, I don't want any fame. I would like to say all in our names. My name, yes, is Tariq. It's me, Juliet, Petal, and Renique. And yes, really, we came to represent. But New Zealand, sure we will present. Bam ba dum bam ba de ba da ba de dum ba de like day. Santi Manite. Well, we came from St. James Secondary. I would like you all, please listen to me. Yes, right here where I stand, I would like to talk about the New Zealand. New Zealand is very pretty, and I know Auckland is their biggest city. And yes, I do a song like a nerd, but I know the Kiwi is their flightless bird. Bam ba dum bam ba de ba de dum ba de like day. Santi Manite. Well, if I was in New Zealand, they would have not survived, because at this age, yes, I could have drive. Yes, really, they put me on the scene. People in New Zealand could drive at age 16. And yes, I want you all to know that I came here just to extempo. And yes, listen to me, I just came to represent St. James Secondary.
We will now begin our presentation on New Zealand, the Maori culture. Maori are the indigenous people of New Zealand. They have been in existence for over more than 1,000 years. Today, Maori make up 14% of New Zealand's population and their history. Language and traditions are central to New Zealand's identity. Today, we will look at 4 aspects of Maori's culture: festivals, food, language, and clothing. 7 Maori festivals celebrated in New Zealand. Matariki. Matariki marks the start of the Maori New Year. It is the Maori name for a group of 7 stars known as the Pleiades star cluster. Traditionally, Matariki is held midwinter in June, when the cluster of stars come into view. Some people think of Matariki as a mother star with 6 daughters, and it is referred to as the 7 sisters. During this festival, families would come together to remember their ancestors and their past, while also celebrating the lives of the present. Kafia Kai Festival. The Kafia Kai Festival has a strong focus on Maori's cuisine, local food, and indigenous culture. The festival is celebrated annually and takes place around Wathangi weekend in early February. Kafia Kai Festival has gained a lot of traction over the years. Each year, more than 2,500 flask baskets are woven for the event. These are used to serve up the hangi meal, seafood, and wild pork meat that are typically cooked to mark the occasion. This festivity provides visitors with a unique opportunity to experience first-hand traditional artists at work and get an insight into authentic Maori arts and crafts. Tira o Watangi. Tira o Watangis is Wellington's offering for celebrating Watangi Day. The event held in Capital's Watangi Park is fully centered around Maori customs. Festival goers can look forward to several kapa haka, storytelling and musical performances, as well as a hangi meal. Traditional art exhibitions, water sports, and a traditional Maori ball game called Ki o Rahari. The event includes displays by waka ama, also known as canoes. International Kai Festival. International Kai Festival is another food festival to mark Watangi Day, this time in the sunny South Island town of Nelson. The International Kai Festival celebrated its 10th anniversary in 2018. It is a collaboration between Founders Heritage Park and Wakatu Muri and features various cultural performances, Maori dance, arts and crafts, stalls, and lots of locally grown foods. There are also traditionally Maori massages on offer for those wanting a bit of pampering. The New Zealand Festival. For more than 30 years, the biannual New Zealand Festival has been bringing all things art related to the forefront. The festival is a combination of music, art, theatrical performances that encompass everything from the traditional to the more contemporary. The 3-weekend event typically takes place on Wellington's forefront. The most recent installment opened an epic show called the Waka Odyssey, which celebrates the stories of Kupe's legendary Pacific voyage into New Zealand. Makitu Kaimoana Festival. The Bay of Plenty tongue of Makitu has some great culinary claims to fame. The tongue is nationally renowned for its local brand of pies, as well as having a lot of Kaimoana Festival to share with the masses. As with others on the list, the Makitu Kaimoana Festival is held each February and offers lots of insight into native cuisine, culture, and the people who bring it to life. Cooking demonstrations are a regular attraction, and the festival also holds a strong reputation for its traditional Maori bread, rowena. The Tamika Harenga Waka Festival. The Tamika Harenga Waka Festival is designed to complement existing events while also putting history and heritage of the region's tribal groups at stage. Food, arts and crafts, games, performances, storytelling, and canoe sailings are some of the highlights for the event.
Food. Traditionally, New Zealand's Maori people were hunters, gatherers, and crop farmers who harvested their food from the forest, stream, sea, and garden. Their diet was based on birds and fish, supplemented by the wild herbs and roots. Some of these foods are whitebait, a small freshwater fresh fish with a very big reputation as a New Zealand whitebait, is regarded as one of the most prized seafood delicacies in the country. Hoo-hoo grubs. This gourmet is a Hiketoa Wild Foods Festival is sampling a freshly roasted hoo-hoo grub. The grubs are the larvae of hoo-hoo beetles and live in dead wood in native forests. They are harvested and cooked for their protein and nutty flavor. It is said to have a buttery taste. Maori potato are an unusually deep purple potato. This potato variety is enjoying a renaissance in New Zealand cuisine. Renua paiora or Maori bread, which is made from Maori potatoes. Other foods include green leaf mussels, poa greens, papuri harparito leaves, kuku patties, yam, root, vegetables, kaiori, the Polynesian rat, kuri, the Polynesian dog, both valuable sources of meat, ferns, vines, palms, Fuji, berries, fruits, and seeds.
Languages. There are currently 3 official languages in New Zealand: English, Maori, and New Zealand Sign Language. English and Maori are official languages. English is the most common everyday language, while Maori is used in educational and cultural settings. Maori became an unofficial language in 1987. New Zealand is the only country in the world where Maori is spoken. Despite its official status, the language continues to struggle against being lost in the 1940s. When Maori people migrated from rural areas and into the cities, the Maori language began to decline and children were raised in English rather than Maori. By the 1970s, the Maori language was close to extinction, and therefore an effort was made to include the native language into the media and school curriculums. Just a few Maori words and its meaning. Aroha means love. Hikai means walk. Manuhiri, guests and visitors. And kai means food. Clothing. Clothing and adornments and even hairstyles showed a lot about a person's status. Traditionally, Maori made clothes and adornments from native plants and bird and animal skins. Maori garments were hand-woven and both plaiting and weft twinning techniques. Maori generally walked barefoot, but sometimes made sandals from flax, cabbage, tree leaves, or mountain grass for crossing rocky ground. The most special cloaks were worn only by chiefs. These included cloaks made of curry skin and hair, full-feathered cloaks, and kaitaka. Decorative combs made a lot of bone, stone, or wood were traditionally worn only by men of high status, though were later adopted by women. Hairstyles could show someone's status or indicate when someone is in mourning. Feathers were commonly used in headdresses. Necklaces and pendants were made from stone and bone. Here are a few pictures of Maori traditional clothing.
Bam ba dum ba dum bam ba de ba da ba de dum ba de like day Santi Manite. Well, I might have to go New Zealand twice because the New Zealand girls very nice. I saying this and that is that. Their delicacy is Polynesian rat. Although get fooled by how it does look because the New Zealand's them could real cook. Just the smell go make you feel hot. It should really taste a New Zealand pot. Bam ba dum bam ba de ba da ba de dum ba de like day Santi Manite. Well, in these sports they can't stop it, cause when they bat on bowlers only 6 and wickets. Well, today we had a lot of fun, but sad to say our presentation done. And well, don't get me wrong, the extempo done and St. James gone, but the fun, we don't have to stop it. Let me just go get a New Zealand plane ticket.
The hands together for St. James Secondary. I was actually inspired when they were there and I wrote my own extempo. I don't know if anybody wants to hear. It goes something like this. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to sing. New Zealand is where they filmed Lord of the Rings. You know that people come from near and far to see New Zealand rugby, do the haka. They make themselves look so big and so strong. Before the match starts, they don't take the crown. So use your hands and make merry for St. James Secondary. Thank you. Our next presentation will be by Naparima Girls High School. They appeared with North Nova Education Center from Canada. Their area of research is gender and women, and they are doing spoken word and dance. So they are ready, so look to your screens, followed by the presentation.
Hey everyone, I'm Vrishni Maharaj.
And my name is Rachel Leonpoy, and we are Form 4 students from Naparima Girls High School, Trinidad.
Our chosen topic is women and gender inequalities, and we have a few questions to ask you to help supplement our research.
Observed, all dignitaries, students, teachers, media. Pleasant good morning again. I am Vrishni Maharaj and my colleague is Rachel Youngpoi, and we are Form 4 students of Naparima Girls High School, focused on the topic of gender and women equality. Just a little backstory of what we'll be doing. So our topic, women and gender equality, is one which is of paramount importance to us as young women of society, specifically as we attend an all-girls school. We shall be presenting our interpretation of an aspect of this topic through a combination of the dance, mime, and spoken word art forms blended cohesively to produce a powerful, thought-provoking performance portraying the firm message of a resilient woman determined to break societal barriers and achieve success in a patriarchal society filled with stigmas, stereotypes that command who we should and should not be. This topic was chosen as a means of advocacy for women's rights and human rights in general, in an effort to aid the ever-widening gender gap, which presents itself both in the labor force and on a daily basis. This oppression is both loud and blatant to the oppressed, yet subtle and inconspicuous to onlookers. Hence, we aim to act as a voice for the voiceless and speak out for those who cannot speak for themselves. Although it might appear so, this advocacy is not exclusively for women, though highly specific to the female gender in an effort to stimulate thought and promote positive response. So do enjoy our performance. When I do something, I do it to the best of my ability. But it had never occurred to me that you could differentiate my modus operandi from that of a man. I mean, maybe you can. There's no sure way to know if we process things identically, but ultimately I can achieve to the same degree, meet certain standards and produce work of a certain quality, despite uncertain circumstances and this fabled inequality. A fable, a tall tale, a myth. It's not my favorite book either, but this part of her story is true. So let's call it what it is, non-fiction. But you assume only at 800 is where it sits high up in the Dewey Decimal classes, in contrast to women who've had to work off their... But I assure you, from 000 to 999, this epidemic rests its behind, so let me give you an account, starting from number none, because we all start with nothing. It's just easier for some persons to accumulate, namely men. 000. We start with computer science, information, and general works. Right about here, some misinformation lurks. In the world of computers, why is there a lack of female tutors? Or men have a natural propensity for this sort of thing? Then how is it that the world's first programmer was none other than Augusta Ada King? Clearly, flawed thinking, since technology's face was Ada, Countess of Lovelace. 100. Philosophy and psychology. Try as I might, this mindset still boggles me. Women themselves undermine each other so subtly. We cling to expectations ingrained in society. We go, boys will be boys, even when he's 30. A Casanova, a slob, it doesn't matter the former or the latter. A girl must be pristine, primp, and proper to climb the social ladder. Or just pretty, according to the press, rather. 200. Religion, often used as a tool for control and division. The use of morality to disguise oppression. You repeat and repeat, women are to be in subjection. But somehow, God forbid men show any affection. Though not all leaders abuse their powers, there exist cowards who keep these young girls in service at ungodly hours, perpetrators, pedophiles, perverts, priests, and pastors. Surprisingly, in the same category, we couldn't look away any faster. 300. Economics, social sciences, economics and the law, education and more. We've made our mark, but some of these areas are still male to the core. 400. Language. In how many languages can you say, make me a sandwich? Il machismo, male chauvinism, la philocratie, voila, misogyny. Incidentally, a woman is told to tame her tongue. Strangely, languages, for a woman, is an approved profession. It's easier to break barriers of language than that between man and woman. 500 science and 600 technology. In here we have STEM, but we can't sit with them. Boys only, unless it's 640. Specifically, management of home and family. Upsetting, yes. But according to Marie Curie, the way of progress was neither swift nor easy. 700. Arts and recreation. Talented women from every nation, from Frida Kahlo to Zada Hadid, from the art that touches us to the ones that make us livid, the art on one plane to the art that we live in. From godlike Greek figures to the inspiration Serena Williams, from role models to writers, Toni Morrison and Jane Austen, who bring us literature at 800. Often, their works, though fiction, are a reflection of real life. A virtual image implies the existence of an object upon which we've shone light, despite attempts to conceal our plight. We will keep up the fight. We will continue to speak out from the shadows, bringing our dilemma into sight. 900 history and geography. From back then to our time, this divide between the sexes still plagues mankind from north to south. In each country, it's different, no doubt, but there's still work to be done. Now, see, gender inequality is not only in fiction. It sits upon everyone's shelf. And you, questioning its existence, only encourages its persistence. So I beg you, when I question its persistence, do not dare close your eyes and fall asleep on this issue that is well alive. Canada, we call to you from an ocean away. We send our sunny vibes and cries for a better future, building bridges to abridge the history of silent women. Together, we hold hands and look to the skies. So what say you, Canada? Having the baton passed from Doris Anderson to Emily Carr to Marie Shad Carey and other Canadian women who have relit the glowing splint, we, in the Isle of Trinidad, call to you, a call from afar. Let us share our drive, our spirit, and our hope for a visionary future. Thank you.
Thank you, students of Naparima Girls High School, who appeared with North Nova Education Center. That's probably the best use of the geodecimal system that I have ever seen. Our next presentation will be by Arima North Secondary School. Their country selected is Belize, also the Edward P. York High School. They're going to do drama, and of course the area is culture. So on your screens shortly, you will see the initial presentation.
Shafara. And my name is Mary. And we are students of the Arima North Secondary School of Trinidad, a sister Commonwealth state.
We are honored to be paired with your school in Belize, Edward P. York High School.
And we look forward to learning more about your culture.
Specifically, we would like to learn more about dance in Belize.
Good morning, students from Arima North Secondary School. We are here from Edward P. High School. I am Sophia Reyes. I am Alexis Guy. And I am Danielle Mohammed. We are honored and grateful to be a part of your presentation and to help you learn a little bit more about Belize.
I know you were looking for a book with dances and so on, but this is all we have in the library now. It's kind of old, as you can see. It's kind of falling apart. Be careful, right? What country again was it?
Belize.
Belize, okay. I had a friend who went there years ago, never called me back. Like, they like it so much. Is that not? But it has a fascinating culture. Right? So I hope that this book could help you with some of what you want. Hold on, let me pull up a chair for you. Have a seat right here. Hold on, right here. So you can do your research here while you're waiting, and I'll be outside in front.
Thank you, sir. I had to finish this on Monday, you know. Miss better not tell me nothing if I can't find it, you know. I try. She can't tell me I never try. I don't even know what I'm looking for. Okay, let me see. Belizean languages include English, Creole, Spanish. That's a good thing I learned Spanish. Belizean folklore. Traditions, beliefs, and stories passed down from one generation to the next. Most often, these tales were used as a means of disciplining children from doing wrong. They're like Trinity folklore. I guess we have something in common. Tata, what? Tata duende. See, but what is this? Sisi. All right. La Llorona. La Llorona from Spanish. The Weeping Woman. She is a tall, beautiful woman with long black hair. One belief is that she lures children to rivers in... This book so old I can't read it, you know. One belief is that she lures children to rivers deep in the jungle to lose them. She lost her children near a river, and she does this to get revenge. Okay then. Another belief says that La Llorona lures away young men at bars who had too much to drink. The young men would never be seen again. She kind of reminds me of the Trinity Larger Bless, you know. She liked to lure away men and lose them too. Sir. That is the La Llorona. Over here. Nah. No.
that can't be she. There's like our folklore too, you know. Belize and Trinidad and Tobago have more in common than we think. In fact, our Commonwealth is wealthy for having much in common. But still, this had to be a dream. Just a folktale. It's not real.
Arima North Secondary, paired with Belize in the area of drama. Our final school presentation today will be made by Trinity College East, students of Trinity College East. Their country selected is the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They were paired with Loyola Jesuit College, and they are going to do a PowerPoint presentation, and the area of research is in culture. So once they are prepared, you look to your screens for their introduction and followed by their presentation.
In Trinidad and Tobago, our first language is Trinidad English Creole. This is different standard English, and my question is, what is the most common or prevalent language spoken, and what is its origin?
Hello, my name is Joel Adijala. With me is
Jibril Kno,
representing Loyola College in Nigeria from the West African point, and we're talking here to answer the questions you posed to us in your video. So to start, I'll talk about the common language in Nigeria. In Nigeria, we have over 450 ethnic groups, and all of them speak different languages. But the lingua franca in Nigeria is English language, and Pidgin English is also common, which is an English and Portuguese Creole.
Pleasant good morning, or as they say in Nigeria, Mai Kiao Saf. We connected with Nigeria and created a video presentation on their culture, and we do invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy. Or as they say in Nigeria, sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Nigerian culture. Nigeria is very vast and has over 450 ethnic groups, which denotate many different languages. However, English and Pidgin English, a mixture of English and Portuguese Creole brought to Nigeria by Portuguese traders who frequented the country, are most popular. Here are some common Pidgin English terms. The Igbos of the southeast part of Nigeria dance the Atilogo dance. The dance began way back in the 1920s, but only became known to the whole of Nigeria in 1940. This dance is no easy feat, as it requires lots of high jumps, flips, twists, and even climbing and falling from human trees. The word Atilogo, meaning having magic, expresses this dance perfectly, because the people felt one would have to take some magic potion to perform this dance at such tempo. The Yoruban people dance the Bata dance to the sounds of the Bata drum. Dancers twist their waists, isolate their body parts, do acrobatic steps, and shake their bodies to the wonderful song or chants according to the occasion. Bata dance is usually performed at festivals or to enthrone or dethrone a cultural leader. Nigeria has a variety of instruments like the oboe, which is a 13-string guitar, played by the Igbos, who also play slit drums, xylophones, and flutes. Yoruban people have many instruments like the talking drum, kakiki, and bata drums, which are 3 drums of different sizes, similar in shape to an hourglass. Bata drums are played sitting down, with the drums placed horizontally on the knees, allowing the drummer to play with both hands. The iya is the largest drum, the itole the middle size, and okonkolo being the smallest. They use both the bata drum and the talking drum to communicate with others and for musical purposes. The Calabar Festival is very famous and is regarded as the best in Africa. It is celebrated from the 25th to the 31st of December annually, with many preceding events throughout the month. The celebration was started in 2004 by Governor Donald Duke, who wanted to boost tourism and the economy in the Cross River State. This festival is very young and challenging many famous carnivals around the world. The EU Festival, also known as the Adimo or Risa Play, is a unique cultural festival staged in Lagos State. It was inherited from a town in Ogun State called Ibufun to fulfill the EU deity. It is held to commemorate the life of any Oba that passed and as a tourist festival. Masqueraders dress in ancestral spirit costumes while parading through the streets of Lagos to the sound of the jabudu and kuranja drums. In Nigeria, there's a ritual in which brides would be fattened. They are fed a great quantity of food and taught about sex, how to care for their skin and hair, and upcoming family life by older, more mature people in the tribe. This practice is known as Mabupu and is very common throughout Nigeria. The Fulani people have a form of initiation for boys to show their bravery and endurance, to show they are ready for manhood. The Sharo festival is held twice per year and means flogging. Boys are beaten with a half-inch thick cane, which often leaves marks on the skin of the boy, who interpreted it as a signal of his strength and manliness. Nigeria is an amazing multicultural country. Everyone comes together as one to display their wonderful history and the different talents in which they possess. After doing this, it can be seen they are very proud of their country and have limited outside interference to keep their culture intact. From the instruments to the dance, festivals and rites of passages, it always remains untouched to preserve this for generations to come.
Thank you very much, students of Trinity College East. So, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of our contributions from the 11 schools in the various spheres of culture, drama, spoken word, presentation. Could you give each and every one of them a massive round of applause for the great effort that they put into their presentations today? We immediately go now to presentation of certificates, of tokens initially, to participating schools first by High Commissioners and Honorary Consuls. So I'm going to call upon, in order, representatives from the various countries to come forward to present to the various schools. And we appear to be doing it in order of country. So can I please call on His Excellency John Pilbeam, who is High Commissioner to Australia, please. Right. So, well, before you do that, you have to give a few remarks as well. Yeah.
Just a few remarks, I promise. The Commonwealth is 70 years old, but I think today we should say that it's 70 years young. And I think what we've seen today is the future of the Commonwealth, the maintenance of communication and understanding among a fairly diverse group of people. And I just have to compliment the Parliament for putting this project together and for encouraging so many young people to reach out to the other young people around the Commonwealth. So it's a brilliant idea. Thank you for your participation, hard work, all those sorts of things. It was evident in your presentations. Thank you.
And I'd like to invite a representative, or perhaps the participating students from Asja Boys College who chose Australia, to receive this token from, look at the camera, don't forget to look at the camera. Right, yeah. Thank you very much. Next, can I invite Dr. Elaine Monica Davis of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, Honorary Consul, to give just a few brief remarks and make a presentation to students from 2 schools.
Good morning, everyone, principals. Just to say that I think that Australian High Commissioner spoke on behalf of all of us unwittingly. It was a brilliant idea which was brought to a fantastic conception and conclusion. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of it. Congratulations.
So first, can I invite the participating students from Holy Faith? To receive the token. All right. Make sure they get your good side. All right. No, don't go yet, Dr. Davis. Yeah, okay. No, we have 2 schools in the Bahamas. Next, we invite representatives from Asja Girls, who also chose the Bahamas. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. David. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Thomas Chanona, who is Honorary Consul to Belize, to come to the podium and give some brief remarks and then make a presentation. The remarks are optional.
Morning, everybody. I thought the children did a very good representation of Belize, the folklore, and that cultural dance. You did your research well. Thanks.
So first, I'd like to invite representatives from Moruga Secondary. And now students from Arima North Secondary, representative from Arima North Secondary. Thank you very much, sir. Next is Canada, so would Her Excellency Carla Hogan Rufus please join us?
Good morning. I'll just add to the comments of my colleague John and Monica. What a fantastic way to start the week. Thank you so much. I just thinking how common the themes are, especially the gender equality and the issues facing women and girls around the world. We've just celebrated International Women's Day again. It's really powerful messages coming from all of you here this morning on that. Thank you very, very much. I'm very proud to be a part of this. Thanks.
So the school that chose Canada was Naparima Girls, so would the representatives please come forward? Thank you very much, Excellency. Next, in alphabetical order, Republic of India. Could I ask His Excellency Raj Kamal to come to the podium?
Good morning, everyone. It was very nice initiative on the part of the Parliament of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. We appreciate this initiative and look forward to have many more such opportunities in future to join you. And the children performed very well. Congratulations to all school children who performed today. All the best.
I'd like to invite the representatives of Bishop Centenary forward. Thank you very much, Excellency. The Honorary Consul to New Zealand, Mr. Donald Kelshaw, would you please come forward, sir, and make a few remarks?
Yes, I'm Donald Kelshaw, the Honorary Consul for New Zealand. And before we talk about the presentation, I'd like to thank Bridget Anisette George, the Honourable, for the commentary made about the disaster that took place in New Zealand. And I thank you. And I give my own condolences to my presentation. And they had a very unique presentation. I think it probably was the most exciting one I've seen today, but then I'm a New Zealand representative.
Would the students from St. James Secondary please come forward? Santi Manite. Next, on behalf of the High Commissioner from Nigeria, we have a representative from the High Commission. Please step forward.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the High Commissioner of Nigeria to Trinidad and Tobago, who is on special assignment to Nigeria. I just want to commend the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association of Trinidad and Tobago for embarking on this laudable project. Congratulations also to the students for their brilliant performance. Thank you very much. And
so would a representative from Trinity College East come forward? Thank you very much. It is now the turn of the Republic of South Africa. Will the representative of Her Excellency come forward?
Sanbonan, good morning. My name is Boise Buhale, South African Councillor. I would like to thank the organizers of this project. My wish is that it should be organized almost every year to encourage the young men and women or girls to do further research and acknowledge and to enhance their knowledge, because here when you talk about Africa, people think Africa is a one country. But once such events are organized, the young people understand that Africa is not a one country. It also have almost 54 countries. Therefore, it's not a one country. I'd like to thank the organizers again. Thank you very much.
Country that chose South Africa is St. Charles High Schools. Will representatives come forward to receive your token? Thank you. And it just so happens that alphabetically, the final country is in fact the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. So, His Excellency Tim Stew, would you please come to the podium, sir?
Thank you very much. And in protocol terms, of course, absolutely correct, United Kingdom. It does mean I speak at the end when I'd rather actually be called Britain, and I would speak at the beginning. But all I really wanted to say, to add to what my colleagues have already said, is thank you, first of all, to the Parliament for putting this together. The theme is there, a connected Commonwealth, and I think all of you this morning have shown exactly that and just how connected we are. I was really struck last year when we were leading on the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in London and doing some preparation for that, just how active young people are in this country on the Commonwealth. And that hasn't always been my impression in other countries where I've served. So it's really, really good to see that, and it's really good to see all of you this morning engaging so much. The Commonwealth really matters, and you need to make the most of it. Thank you.
All right. And could I invite the representatives from Shiva Boys Hindu College, who chose the United Kingdom, to come forward, still in full regalia and costume, as I see. Thank you very much, Excellency. Okay. Now we move to the presentation of certificates of participation to our overseas students. So the tables are turned. Now the High Commissioners and Honorary Council will be receiving, but presenting will be members of the Trinidad and Tobago Executive Committee of the Trinidad and Tobago branch of the CPA. So we looked around, we saw who was there, so we're going to call you to present to each. We begin with Mr. Ansel Antoine. Mr. Antoine is here. And we'd like to invite a representative from Australia, first of all, to receive His Excellency, to receive on behalf of the students of St. John's College in Australia. St. John's College, huh? Sacred Heart.
Birthplace of Don Bradman.
Birthplace of Don Bradman. Sacred Heart Central School, excuse me, yes. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Elaine Monica Davis, Honorary Consul for the Bahamas, to receive on behalf of the students of St. John's College of the Bahamas. Thank you very much, Mr. Antoine. Next, may I call upon Mrs. Glenda Jennings-Smith, who will present to Honorary Council from Belize. Come, sir. Mr. Thomas Chanona. Thank you, Mr. Chanona, and also Her Excellency Carla Hogan-Ruffels from Canada. Presentation to students from North Nova Education Center who teamed with our own students. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mrs. Smith. Next, I'd like to call upon another EXCO member, Mr. Wade Mark. And Mr. Mark will present to the representative of Nigeria, our students teamed with Loyola Jesuit College in Nigeria. Thank you very much. All right. And Mr. Mark will also present to His Excellency Tim Stew certificates of participation to students of Stopley High School. Thank you very much, Mr. Mark. At this point, I also would like to give special mention to the representatives from India and New Zealand who assisted their schools when a partnering school could not be found, but they still stepped in and assisted with research to those schools. So a round of applause to India and New Zealand as well. Okay. Now we present certificates of participation to our local students. Am I calling names or individual names? Okay. And for this, I will be calling upon our very own President of the Senate, Senator Honorable. We'll be presenting to students from the first 6 schools. Madam Speaker, get ready, you'll be doing the rest. First, the students of Asja Boys College, Charlieville. I'll call you by name. Nyron Joseph. There's no camera here. Where's the camera? You gotta have a camera. All right. Terrell Primus. Thank you. Aidan Phillip. Now students from Asja Girls College Barrackpore, Akila Brown. Ariel Brown. Jedediah Burton. Jedediah. And Sydney Simmons. Next, from Arima North Secondary, I hope I get this right, Shifara Lewis, is that right? Did I get your name right? Very good, thank you. Mary Singh. Thank you. Bishop Centenary College, Shirley Sletren. And Tressa Constantine. Thank you. From Holy Faith Convent, Micaiah Huggins. And Amelia Mohammed. And from Moruga Secondary School, Candice Douglas. And Nikita St. John. Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Madam President. Could I please ask Madam Speaker to present to the remaining 5 schools? To Naparima Girls High School, Rachel Leongpoi. And Vrishni Maharaj. From Shiva Boys Hindu College, Adrian Pariag. Work it, Adrian, work it. And Kevin Gobin. Right. From St. Charles High School, Amaris Skeet. And Alexia Daniel. From St. James Secondary School, Renick Lewis. And Tariq Gonzalez. And final two students from Trinity College East, Zion Benjamin. And Joshua Samuel. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Giving the vote of thanks today is a member of the Executive Committee, an independent senator. Could I call to the podium Senator Anthony Vieira? Put your hands together for him,
please. Salutations. Senator, the Honorable Christine Kangaloo, President of the Senate. Honorable Bridget Mary Anisette George, Member of Parliament, Speaker of the House. Ministers of Government. Members of the Executive Committee of the Trinidad and Tobago branch of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association. Other members of Parliament. High Commissioners of Commonwealth countries resident in Trinidad and Tobago and their representatives, honorary councils, teachers, students, specially invited guests, staff of the Office of the Parliament, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my pleasure, on behalf of the Trinidad and Tobago branch of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, to bring the vote of thanks on the occasion of Commonwealth Day 2019. At a time when certain international relationships are unraveling in a tense, uncertain, and complicated manner, it is indeed a pleasure to recognize and celebrate a connected Commonwealth. A comity of nations based on shared values and traditions, including a common system of laws and government, human rights, free speech, sports, and culture. The Commonwealth represents a quarter of the world's population, and it is a true comity of nations based not on complex rules and binding obligations, but on historical ties, goodwill, and other shared elements. The Commonwealth is special in that it is an international system which relies on friendship and understanding. So to all resident representatives from the various Commonwealth countries who have joined with our Parliament to make this program a success, may I say a big thank you. You have afforded and will continue to afford our students the opportunity to enhance their understanding on global issues and international cooperation. To the members of Parliament here today, may I express our gratitude to you for allotting time to celebrate this occasion, and more importantly, to meet and converse with our students, our future. Thank you for your generous support. Most importantly, thank you to the schools for showing an interest in participating in this commemorative event. And the presentations this morning transported us far and wide across the globe. South Africa, the United Kingdom, the Bahamas, Belize, India, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Nigeria, and of course, Trinidad and Tobago. We listened with rapt attention to St. Charles High School and South Africa. The pain of being forgiven for a wrong she never committed, that spoke powerfully to the need for gender equality. We laughed at the old lady Sukuya holding her own against Count Dracula, as humorously portrayed by Shiva Boys Hindu College, reminding us about common elements of folklore with us and the United Kingdom. Holy Faith Convent and the Bahamas sought to break gender stereotypes as they rallied against the curse of femininity. Fragile girls standing on the wrong side of the equal sign. We welcome the opportunity to learn more about Belizean culture as Moruga Secondary School, in colorful array, enthralled us with indigenous dance and music. Asja girls gave a dramatic perspective on issues of concern in the Bahamas, reminding us that even in a tropical paradise, our youths face an uncertain future and are challenged by crime and violence on the streets. But no stress as we sing for peace together and together seek to make a change for the better. Bishop Centenary College sought to explore Indian culture and diversity, religion, architecture, fashion, food and dance. Namaste. And thank you for paying tribute to Mother India with a sweet Trini flavor. Asja Boys took us down under, reminding us that Australia is proud of its multicultural heritage and sports heritage, and that our countries are not just richly blessed, but that we share much in common. St. James Secondary School partnered with our Kiwi cousins to represent Maori traditions, customs, food, culture, and festivals in New Zealand. The extempo performance delighted us and was a fitting antidote to the recent horror in Christchurch. It even prompted our Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Elcock, to sing and do his own little extempo number. Sans humanity, indeed. Naparima Girls and Canada focused on women and gender inequality with their powerful, thought-provoking performance. An Untamed Tongue, a voice for the voiceless, debunking fabled inequality, among other things by calling on women not to undermine themselves. Arima North Secondary School's partnership with Belize reminded us that, in folklore at least, there are some dangerous women. And we have much in common. Trinity College East connected with multicultural Nigeria to explore language, culture, and rites of passage. So to the students, our deep appreciation for your engaging presentations, enthusiasm in connecting with one another throughout the Commonwealth. We are all inspired by your dedication in learning more about the cultures, history, sports, women and gender, and current national issues of other Commonwealth nations. The future of a connected Commonwealth rests with you. To the teachers without whom the presentations put on by the students could not have been possible, thank you for your service and for devotion to molding young minds. We are confident that instilling the ideals and values upheld by the Commonwealth, in particular, tolerance, respect, understanding, equity, and fairness, will be a force for peace and good government. An event like this can't happen overnight. The wheels started rolling weeks ago. It required planning and a critical eye for detail. We are fortunate in having a very motivated and dedicated organizing team. Thank you, staff of the Office of the Parliament, without whom this event could not have been successful. I believe, based on the proceedings here this morning, we can safely say that the Commonwealth is alive and well. I now invite everyone to join us in the members' dining room on level 2 for a reception. Do enjoy the rest of the day. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vieira. At this point, we've come to the end of this morning's proceedings, but before you go to the reception, if you look at their programs, there's just one more item. So first of all, to those of you joining us via the Parliament channel and via Parliament Radio and our YouTube channel, ParlView, we thank you for staying with us. This ends the live broadcast of our proceedings. Thank you so very much. To those of us in the room, there is the question of the group